We saw quite the jump in retail sales here in the U.S. in the weeks leading up to Christmas. Take a look at these findings from MasterCard Spending Plus. Holiday retail sales up 8.5% over last year. That's excluding automotive purchases. And get this, in-store purchases jumped 8.1%. Things are looking even better for online sales. Those grew by 11% compared to 2020. Let's bring in consumer marketing strategist Lisa Miller. Lisa, it is great to see you once again. We spent a lot of money on gifts this year. Is it enough to save any struggling businesses that may remain?
Well, definitely. It was really encouraging news for the retail industry with about 8.5% growth this year. And what was exciting is that there was a large part of that where people were actually shopping back in stores, back at small local places, back at the malls. And so that's a really good sign for the economy and some of those businesses that might have been struggling.
It seems like the in-person phenomenon is sort of sticking. I mean, what kind of message is that to online giants like Amazon, for instance, about the future of online shopping? Does it seem like we found this middle ground, the balance between what we're going to buy online and what we're going to go to the store to get?
That is such a great question. And as you know, I've been measuring this journey back to joy since the beginning of the pandemic. And what's really interesting is people are going to start settling into those occasions. There's going to be those times that they want to go into the store and actually touch and feel and that experience, that adrenaline rush of finding the right gift or finding something for themselves. But there's nothing that's going to replace that convenience of that, just one click and you've got an order. So I think it's going to find that equilibrium, like you said, about the balance between the two. And I think we're getting there.
I'm wondering if people are thinking about Omicron, though, when they're doing this, because it seems like now, instead of sort of the rush back to these conservative sort of precautions we were taking in previous waves, that we're sort of just plowing ahead with this one. Are we sort of speaking into the void when we talk about this new variant? Are people just sick of it? Are they thinking about Omicron when they're doing in-person shopping?
Well, what happened was it's so interesting, and we asked the consumers about Omicron, and yes, there is definitely a concern about that, and we saw that in our data. But what's also happening, about 45% of Americans told us just last week that they're kind of burnt out in that kind of COVID fatigue, and they're not really paying attention anymore. And so I think that that holiday spirit and that seeking joy with friends and family and all of that just really kind of superseded any concerns that people had about the Omicron.
Wanting to get back to being with people and feeling the joy of being out and about with, even just with strangers around you, having those folks around is a happy feeling. Lisa Miller, it's always a pleasure to have you on. Great to see you.
Thank you so much. Have a good one.